everybody. Welcome to this week's video blog here at Structure M with the lovely Ajala, our Director of Operations. How's it going, Ajala?
Hey Holly, I'm doing good today. How are you?
Doing great. Well, I am excited. This week we are wrapping up our topic on email marketing. We've been talking about it all month. And so, if it's okay with you, I'd like to jump into my question for you this week.
Yes, let's do it.
Awesome. Okay, so with marketing in general, we always want to make sure that we're measuring the success of what we're doing, the efforts that we're making. And so it's important to know some key metrics and things to look for to know if what you're doing is being implemented and being implemented well and actually having a result. So, my question for you this week are what are some email metrics that we need to be paying attention to when we do email marketing?
Yeah, metrics are very important. It's like you said, it's important to know, like, is this even getting to anybody and is anybody interested in what we're saying? So how will you know unless you have a couple metrics to look at each time you send a new e-news? There's about three of them that are pretty, I would say, at the top of some of the metrics that you would want to be concerned with. The first one would be your open rate. The open rate just
Okay.
basically is the number of recipients that opened your email. So how many people you delivered it to versus how many people opened it. A good open rate that we typically see is around 15 to 25% as an average across the industry.
Okay. Okay, that is actually really good information. I did not realize that that was the goal that we were going for. So 15 to 25% open rate is really good. So, what are some other metrics that we need to be aware of?
Yeah, the click-through rate is the second metric that I would say you'd want to watch for. It's the number of recipients who have clicked on a link. We talked about those call to actions earlier, and I mentioned like a blog
Right.
link or a service page link. This is how many people actually read the e-news and then clicked and took an action through one of those call to actions. A good click-through rate typically in the industry is between 1 and 5%.
Okay. Click throughs are good because that means they're going to your website. That means they could be filling out a form or hitting a landing page, right?
That's right. That's exactly what that means. They're taking the next step, and we do want to drive them from the e-news. We don't want them to stop there. We want them to go on to the website where they would potentially fill out a web form or read more information about your service, maybe your reviews or a featured project that you have done where you have images of before and afters.
Okay. Okay. Now, I know that there's one other rate that we had mentioned before we got on here that we've talked about, but you hear it a lot, and it's bounce rate. So, can you please explain what a bounce is, and then explain like when it comes to bounce rates, what we're looking for with these with email? Because you hear a lot of that, but it's not fully explained, I feel like.
Yeah, bounce rates would be the third metric I'd pay attention to. And bounce rates, there's two different kinds of bounce rates. There's a soft bounce rate, which just simply means that that email address is temporarily failed, but the address is still active. So maybe they had like a full mailbox or some other reason. So it's an active email address, but your e-news could not be delivered for some reason. The other kind of bounce rate would be a hard bounce. These are the ones you don't want. A hard bounce is an email address that's no longer valid. That pretty much means that your contact list is not up to date. If you're getting a lot of high bounce rates, you definitely probably want to take a look at and clean up your contact list. Um, you'll want to remove any address that came through as a hard bounce. You'll want to remove that from your list. Some email marketing platforms may automatically do that, but you'll want to make sure that email address is removed so you're getting a more pure bounce rate metric than a bunch of email addresses that you know are not deliverable.
That's really interesting. I didn't even realize there was like a soft bounce and a hard bounce. So that's interesting. It just tells me I need to go in and do some cleaning up in our CRM. So thank you for giving me no task, Angela.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's also a good motivator to clean up that list because some e-news marketing platforms also charge you by the number of contacts you have. So if you have a bunch of contacts in your CRM and you're not able to fully deliver, you're being charged for that monthly by the e-news marketing platform.
That is a really good point that people probably don't really recognize and so I am so glad that you said that because now I have some homework to do. So thank you. Well, I have found this conversation incredibly helpful so I can start measuring the success of my own email marketing efforts. And I think that small businesses will really find this information valuable. And I really appreciate your time, Angela, this month, giving us all the 411 on email marketing. So thank you so much. And thank you to all of our wonderful viewers who have been tuning in this month, learning all about email marketing. And don't worry, we will be back next month. So be sure to join us. We have an awesome topic that I know you're going to want to be listening in on, okay? All right. Thanks, Angela. And we'll talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.